All right, and we are live for Selection Sunday, and today we welcome a very special guest to me. He's a high school buddy of mine. He's a big hoops guy. He's involved in women's college basketball. Please welcome Sean Elbick.
What's going on? Great to be here. Very new to the NBA Top Shot space, but I'm excited. I'm not going to let the fact that I missed out on today's drop damper my enthusiasm, because I got an unopened pack that I'm fired up to really get me into this space. So happy to be here.
I mean, and I couldn't be any more excited about my pack that I got for the Rising Stars. I can't believe I got in there. You know, we were like kind of opening them up at the same time or waiting in line at the same time. And for me to kind of pop one, I like kind of came out of nowhere, was not feeling good about it. We're going to open them up at the back end of the show. But, you know, because you're new, Sean, like I wanted to kind of walk you through what Swyysh Fantasy was, and like we were talking about it off air, and I'm like, why don't we just podcast about it? Like we'll like teach other people about it, get you involved, and so just like ask questions, like let's get you up to speed, and you know how we can get you involved. So for your lineup, you need 5 different moments. Like how many moments do you have right now?
I only have one.
Okay, so we're going to have to beef up that collection. And we have the Seeing Stars pack, so that's a good start. But we're going to need to at least buy another one.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to create a showcase. So we'll walk you through what that means. And then in the showcase, you need to put Swyysh or Whale. We'll teach you about Whale maybe in another episode. We'll keep it to Swyysh
I've been seeing the Whale term thrown around on Twitter. I have no idea what it means.
It's awesome. Whale community is one of the coolest things going on, but like for another episode. And then, you know, you ultimately plug in your link for your showcase into the Swyysh website, which is right here. What you do is you go to your lineup, if I can get there, and you can see that my showcase is already plugged in. I am starting Zion and the big V, Nikolai Vucevic, in the 2-point options, Steph for 3, Trey for the assist, and Rudy as our defensive wizard. Okay, and so I might have skipped ahead on you a little bit, so let's like just walk through like where those 5 moments come from. So you get 2 2-point options that can arrive in a dunk, jump shot, or layup, and you just get all of their 2-point baskets. So what I kind of like about Swyysh is that you like really take the moment that you own and you put that moment to work, right? Like, so my Zion moment that I'm starting this week is my one legendary Zion layup. And every time he scores a 2-point basket this week, I get both of those points towards my weekly total.
Right.
Then, you know, there's one 3-point option. Like Steph Curry's obviously the guy to have. I'm looking at Dame Lillard maybe for this week, but like we'll get into kind of that in a second. The dime dish or assist. So what's different about the assist is you can use the assist or the handle. So sometimes like there's like a handle moment that's like actually your player scoring a basket, but it'll play as an assist.
Gotcha.
And then the defensive wizard, it's either a block or a steal. It's not like you get the block and you get all blocks and steals. It's whatever that moment is. So I start the Rudy Gobert block. Anytime he blocks in a game, those go towards my weekly total. You get 2 times the amount of blocks, you get 2 times the amount of assists, and then the buckets play for themselves.
Got it.
Now, you asked a really good question off air, Sean, and that was, like, does the quality of the moment matter, right? Like, so when I play my Zion Legend, does it matter more than if, like, you play a common Zion, right? And it doesn't, right? Like, that's what I kind of like most about this.
Which I love, because that gives you kind of some incentive for guys like me who are just getting in, and my collection kind of stinks right now, but I can still kind of compete in this Swyysh league. So I love that about it.
Yeah, it like gets you right in there, and like let's not lose sight that if you win the week, you get free packs, right? Like you're looking at like trying to beef up your collection. No better way than to score a pack, and if it's free, like holy crap, man! Like what a deal!
Especially with the way the lotteries are going. I mean, shoot, it might be one of the better ways to even get a pack with how
absolutely
how these drops are going.
Yeah, like I think when more and more people come in, right, the question's going to come like, what do I do with these moments, right? Like I collect, but like what do I do with them? Well, this is what you do. Like the utility's right there in front, like, and we're playing for packs. Like I don't know what more you need, right? Like let's play for packs.
Right.
So, because I've played this, game a little bit, and at full, transparency here, like I haven't won. So like maybe just take what I have just for the rules and maybe shut it down after that.
It's like when you're talking about the stock market, this is not financial advice.
I mean, but I love that about that. It could be financial advice, right? Like this is an investment thing. Like I love that. So like games during the week is at a premium, right? Like if you're going to roll out Zion, like it doesn't like help you if he only plays once, right? Like you might be better off playing Malcolm Brogdon and catching him 3 games, right? So scheduling is a big deal. And if we look at our scheduling tab, if this guy cooperates with us, it's a weird week, right? Because like we have the All-Star game tonight, like happening almost as we speak. Yeah. And the guys have off through Tuesday. So, usually in this nice little website, #basketball, like you kind of have a nice weekly total here, but you have to break it down just for this week. And no team has more than 3 games this week. There's a couple 2 gamers, and you won't be shocked to learn that the Lakers only play once this week. Imagine that, right? But the first thing I look at is like I got 2 studs from the 2-point position, and that's Zion and Giannis. And so I see Zion with 3 games, must start in the 2-point option. And then with the Bucks, I only get him Giannis for 2 games. So a little bit concerned that maybe I have to go in a different direction for the 2-point option. The Big V plays 3 games this week, and he's getting a lot of looks. And so that's kind of where I went, at least to start. Now, like I popped a Rising Stars pack, which means there's more money in my wallet, which means that I have the ability to go on to the marketplace and beef up my options. I mean, the Wizards are playing 3 games, and I really want to reacquire the Russell Westbrook assist. It's a hard moment to get. But like off of that, Sean, what are you seeing here? Like any questions?
No, I mean, I think that's pretty good. Like you're saying, I mean, it's pretty simple. They got more games, they got more chances to score. So, I mean, that's huge. Not only just finding that moment that fits, but, I mean, if they have more games, I think that's why it's a little different than you talk like fantasy football where everyone all has 1 game and it levels the playing field. You really got to be focused on not only what your moment is and how much value that is, but, I mean, how many times they're playing truly matters. Like you said, I mean, the Lakers only play once, so that LeBron card, whatever it is, may not be worth anything this week with regards to fantasy just because there's only 1 game.
No doubt. And like I think the connection between fantasy football to this game is very true, right? Like in fantasy basketball, there's like that streaming option where you're like cycling the last player in your lineup just to get points, just to get a game in. And here, like you set it and forget it. And that's it, right? Like, let's value the best players. Let's make sure that your collection is like what the guys that you want, and like put them to work.
Right.
So, and like the fact that you just set it and like watch the games, love it, right?
Yeah.
So like when you're looking at these options, like we have a bunch of teams with 3 games, right? And like I guess what I try to do to figure out who the best options are is that I like to prioritize the opportunities, right? Like the games, the opportunities, we want to shove all the pinballs we can into our pinball machine and have them whack around as best we can and see where the chips fall, right?
Of course.
So we got Beal, Zion, Joel, Giannis, Andre Drummond, Joker as kind of like your big 6. Like this is from all the games so far this year. These are the guys getting the most amount of 2-point field goal attempts. Okay,
gotcha. Yeah.
So that's kind of the guys that I look at. Anthony Davis had been hot before he got hurt, like another guy to look at. Big V was there. I picked him up for like $1 way back. Like it feels like years ago. It was almost like just 2 weeks ago. But, we moved from the 2-point field goals attempted to the 2-point field goals made, if we can get there. And you obviously see some familiar faces, but you start to, Andre Drummond falls off, right? And then, you see some guys who are just like big post players. So like Sean, you're new to this game. You're looking to build your collection. You're basically your roster. Who are you looking to acquire first?
Well, I mean, obviously looking at these, you'd probably want to get a Zion or a Giannis, but I would also suspect that those cards are probably pretty pricey when it comes into the marketplace. So it's like trying to figure out, who of these guys are still relatively cheap on the marketplace, because that's really the only place you can kind of get cards now if you don't luck out with these kind of lottery drops. So I guess it's more kind of taking a look and figure out who's, a viable option in terms of a price point that's still making, getting a decent amount of opportunities.
And yeah, I think you're 100% right? Like this is playing virtual general manager, right? Like you want to be able to kind of move where the market goes. I can tell you right off the bat that you can find a Joker for under $100, which, it seems pricey, but just know that if you build the right roster, you're going to get that back in a reward. Now, maybe it's unfair to assume that you're just going to waltz into the top 5. Right. But, I think it's money well spent. My Top Shot just isn't working right now. We're going to shut that down and get through kind of our statistical analysis.
Yeah.
But I think that's like when I was early in the space, like I wanted to acquire these guys. I consolidated down to just Zion and Giannis. So I'm definitely looking to acquire a Beal. I think he's going to be hot. I'm definitely looking to acquire a Jokic. And I think you kind of have to have an Embiid. Like he has those 40-point games, and a lot of them come from the paint, right? So, those are kind of the guys that I zone in on. I do have an Anthony Davis cool cat, so that's there if he decides to get healthy anytime soon. But let's move, if this guy kind of cooperates here, to the 3-point field goals attempted. And I think in this column, you really see that Steph Curry and Dame Lillard are kind of the two guys. They're taking 11, 12 a game. CJ's up there too. Buddy's a nice guy. And then but there's a drop off once you get to Bud,
Yeah.
And again, like these are just field goal attempts, right? So like if we move to the field goals made, like I think you'll find that it's almost even worse, right? Someone that I was kind of thinking about earlier was like Duncan Robinson, right? Like you hear like, oh, he takes a lot of threes and like supposedly is good at them.
Yeah.
But he's actually hasn't been really hot this year. he hasn't been putting up numbers. So again, like you're gonna let's say, Sean, that like you don't want to invest in a Steph Curry. It's too expensive, and maybe Dame is out too. Like who else are you looking at?
Looking at this, I mean, I don't know what Buddy Hield is going for on the market, but I mean, he's between attempts and makes, he's the closest thing. And in my mind, I would think maybe in the marketplace he wouldn't be all that expensive.
No, I don't think he's really available, to be honest.
Okay, gotcha.
I think your best bet for like a cheaper option might be Scary Terry's an interesting option.
Scary Terry, just on a personal level.
Yeah.
When he was on the Seas, he was electric. So
I think Paul George is very affordable.
Okay.
It'd be nice to get a little side by side. Can you pull up your Top Shot marketplace on your stream, and then you can share the screen?
Let's see.
And I'll kind of work through the next assist column while you're working on that.
Yeah.
And the assist column, I have a bunch of assists on the roster. I think that the number one guy this past week was Russell Westbrook. His moments is not very common on the marketplace. It only arrives once as a rare.
Okay.
And the same did go for James Harden until the Seeing Stars assist, the Seeing Stars handle came out. I actually popped that earlier yesterday on the Benjamin podcast stream, and excited to have that on the roster. Like I think you saw from the schedule that the Nets only play twice this week, so I don't think I'll use him there.
Gotcha.
But, Luka's someone that I have lying around. I had Trae Young. Trae Young for a little stretch was just like far and above the best assist option for a while. Chris Paul and Draymond Green are good options, and the Joker and Lillard just the same. So I think for me, when I look at the dime dishers, I'm really zoned in on like who has the most amount of games out of this like 6 or 7 group right here.
Okay. Yep.
So I know that Draymond Green is like super affordable at like $30, $40. I think Chris Paul the same at $40, and then like once you get north here into like the top 4, that's when it gets really expensive.
I'm not sure if I'm presenting here, but I clicked something. So
yeah,
I don't know.
we're moving. The streamers will have to just be patient with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So in order for me to show, I need to shut mine down. So we will stop my present once we can get there. There you go. And you are presenting right on top. That's nice. So we have a nice little squad cast here. You got your present up top. I got mine on the left. So why don't you pull up the marketplace, man, and give
okay. The only thing I can see right now is the screen I'm sharing, so
okay.
I can't see any face, but that's okay.
That's okay. Is the marketplace live right now? Can you make purchases?
It says the marketplace is disabled still for the Rising Stars.
Okay. So, so like out of the assists and the 2-point options and 3-point options, Sean, like you have a pretty small bankroll to work with, right? So like walk me through like just with the players we've seen so far, like where are you looking to put some of your capital towards?
I'm trying to remember what you said, a couple, or like the Joker card where you could find one for under 100.
Well, so let's don't look at it through that lens. Like, which moment do you think has the most value? And let's see if we can't find it for good value.
I do like the Joker. I do like. I mean, you talk Steph, Dame. Who else was up there? I mean, Buddy Hield, those guys. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, the Joker, I like him personally. So, and then the fact that he's up there, that would be kind of a cool moment to have too.
Okay. Well, let's get Joker up there in the ticker, and we'll kind of go through here on my side and kind of preview the defensive Wizards as you kind of look at. So, what is that, $70 for a dunk?
Yeah, $70 for a dunk.
Okay, I think that's affordable, right? Like that. I mean,
let's sort by low ask ascending. We can really get into this here. Yeah, so 70 is the lowest one, which is definitely affordable.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a chunk of change, right? Like we don't want to demean that. Like to come in not knowing what you're doing, like $70. That's definitely money that you weren't planning on using. But I mean, I think that these moments are going to hold value at minimum, and they're also a way for you to get your foot in the door. Now, what I want to point out is that when you're looking at buying a moment, on the ticker there, you have your player name, the date, and all that, and then you have your common and your little circle that has either an LE or a CC. LE stands for limited edition, meaning that they're not going to print any more copies. So you can rest assured that all the copies will amount to 15,000 copies. On Evaluate Market, which is a secondary tool, another website we were talking about earlier, Sean, like you can see how many are in circulation to date, because it might be that there are some stuck in packs. It's like really important to know, because sometimes like there's a moment that hasn't been released in packs, and so there's a limited amount of supply and circulation, and that like screws with the price. So, can you on yours like type in evaluate.market?
Yeah, let's see.
And while you do that, I'll kind of just preview the defensive Wizards over here, because the defensive Wizards are kind of a weird place, right? Like not a whole lot of points get registered even at the 2x margin. And the Miles Turner block doesn't even exist. So I do like the Rudy Gobert. And I find him to be like kind of that like defensive wizard moment to kind of play, but I don't know if like dropping money on Rudy right now with like a limited amount of block supply makes a whole lot of sense.
Right.
So, Sean, like on that evaluate market, like type in that Joker moment that you were looking at, and I'll kind of walk you through like what I look at when I go to evaluate. So go to the top of the page and go to moments.
Moments, yep.
And then you type the player Joker. And then it'll ask you for which one. And then it's
Dunk.
Yep, Dunk Series 2 go. There she is. Yeah, that guy. So there's low ass 70, circulation of 15K. So that only 8% of them are in packs. And what I always find really interesting is like to see the unique owners and the total owned. So because there's only 8,000 owners, that means that there's a fair amount of owners that are owning multiple Jokic's.
Right.
And so like for me, that's an interesting indication to see like who's holding it. It's like, I don't know if you can make some wild assumptions off of that, but if there's like a few amount of owners, that means that you can maybe expect some volatility because like maybe that moment is going to move soon. The more dispersed it is, the more I think stable it could be. There's always exceptions, and I think you should always look into each moment individually. But the fact that there's only 400 not in packs and another like 1,200 in packs out of a total of 15K, like I think this price point has reached as low as it'll go. Like I think the flippers have kind of gone through. So I think you can feel pretty good that when the marketplace comes up, like not a bad first purchase for you.
Right.
So, any other moment you want to look towards, or do you want to kind of continue with this Swyysh fantasy thing?
No, I mean, I think continue with the Swyysh because I think a lot of it will depend, right? When we rip open the packs, what if we get any cards there will probably affect a lot of decisions on.
Yes, great point, right? Like, I mean, you're starting from scratch. You got some free moments. You want to know where they are and then like how to move with the market, right?
Right.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we just get right into it? And we can open some packs, and then once the packs are open and we fill out our roster, we can kind of finish up and make some moves on the market. So you are presenting full screen.
I love it.
Like opening packs, man, like they don't come too often. Like we got to get excited about them when they do.
Right, I'm fired up for the pack opening. I mean, I was fired up when I finally was able to kind of luck out and get a pack over the weekend in the Rising Stars drop, and so yeah, this should be electric. Let's see, what do I got to go to? My collection, is that where it is? I'm a newbie opening packs, so I really don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. There it is.
Now, so what's really cool about it is like the music will come along with it, and like for you, Sean, like you got to experience the music that comes along with it.
I think I got the sound on here.
It'll show up on like the top left for the music to turn on.
Okay. So all right. Well, here we go. Right. Open your pack. This is it.
You got the music on. Top left.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So I usually go left to right. Oh, you go right into it. Mason Plumlee.
All right. No.
Mason Plum.
Fired up about that, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a great fantasy option.
What's that?
That's the music. Music's in the top left.
I'm going to go left, right, I'm going to go middle.
All right. What do we got? Oh, nice. That's going to be a good fantasy option. Good fantasy option.
I like the Garrett Fox.
So
I'm not sure how valuable the dunk is, but I enjoy that moment.
So this next moment is your seeing star. This is going to be your all-star.
The music's pretty loud on my end, so I'm having trouble hearing anything that Dan's saying.
to the top left and cut off the music.
For Luka Doncic card.
All right.
Oh, Celtics.
Nice. Tatum. Nice.
Tatum.
Nice. That's a good pull.
I'm happy. Oh, a nice moment, too. The seat of his pants.
Yeah, it's a nice pull.
I like it.
Nice.
To a dunk by Jaylen Brown. I mean, I don't care what that's worth. I enjoy that moment.
From the deck to the hole, like, nice moment.
All right, so let's see. All right, the music's off. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything that was being said, but I don't know if we're back now.
No, we're back. We actually did okay. Well, I mean, the tape, I guess, will reveal it. But that was good, man. Like, how'd you feel opening the first pack?
It felt good. You know, I was happy to at least, like I said, I don't know what the value in any of these cards are. You know, I don't think Mason Plumlee's worth a thing, and you know the De'Aaron Fox dunk. But I like that the last card open was a Celtics card. It's a cool moment. I don't know if it's worth anything, but I'm glad I came out with a moment that I at least enjoy. A nice assist from the seat of his pants to Jaylen Brown, flushing it home for the hometown team. I can get behind that.
Yeah, man. And I think you're going to do all right. I know that Tatum was trading north of 100. I thought it was maybe 110.
Okay.
But, you know, like the best part about like this whole thing is like we can check right away, right? I'm trying to get us organized so we can kind of see both screens here. Let's tile it up. And so let's go ahead and just like give you a quick cash value for each of those moments.
Yeah.
Our internet's just not really cooperating. Let's see here. So if you go to the market, you can, I think, kind of see it.
All right, so... So let's see, 775 available. Yeah, low ask of 147.
Yeah, and I think that's going to climb. I really do. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
He's on the he's on Team KD, right, for the All-Star game?
I believe so.
So I would, so that moment is going to be towards the KD challenge, and that's coming up soon. So I would expect to see some price growth there.
Yeah.
Got De'Aaron Fox here trying to pull up for you. It was the Dunk Series 2. Oh, I put Plumlee at like maybe $8 or $9.
See, let's look on De'Aaron here.
Where
666 for sale for De'Aaron's dunk. $13 for my guy De'Aaron.
Okay, that's a good pull. That's a good pull.
And then, last but not least, the Mason Plumlee. $10 for Mason.
That's not bad. So how much did you pay for the pack? Was it
$40?
So you got close to your money back with those two other guys, and I think you should keep Fox. I think he's a guy that you can definitely use.
Yeah, I like Fox. The Tatum card, I feel like, and tell me what you think. I feel like that isn't very valuable in terms of Swyysh being an assist.
We'll look back at the numbers before we make our final decisions here, but we have until midnight to put together our lineups. We're having some technical difficulties here, so for the Rising Stars pack, I will stop this feed, start another one, post that one up because I'm sure people want to see that one. But I thought this was a great introduction to the space. Like, this is what's going on. This is what I'm looking at.
Yes.
And we'll continue this on to the next one, but we'll see you guys in a bit.
Love it.